The void between realities trembled long before either Titan arrived. It wasn't a tremor of fear or reverence. It was simply the multiverse reacting the way any structure reacts when something heavier than existence steps onto the floorboards. Trigon rose first from the bleeding folds of his personal hell realm, each step cracking the metaphysical crust beneath him. His presence leaked corruption the way stars bleed light, spreading tendrils of demonic power through whatever dimension he entered without permission or apology. His 6 eyes surveyed the emptiness with contempt, sensing that this was no ordinary void. This place had been emptied for a reason. Galactus emerged like a star collapsing backward into shape. Not the Galactus who starved and fed, nor the Galactus who wandered the cosmos searching for sustenance. This was the One Galactus, the primal expression of the cosmic force he once embodied in limited form, now fully unified, fully realized and fully awakened. His aura didn't burn, it enforced structure. His presence didn't corrupt, it stabilized. The space between them rippled as though unsure which of the two forces was closer to the truth of reality. Neither spoke at first. Their essences did enough speaking. Trigon's infernal fire licked at the edges of the plane they occupied, burning and reshaping it with every pulse of his malignant energy. The One Galactus simply stood, and the plane reorganized itself around him, correcting distortions, rebuilding what Trigon destroyed. They existed as metaphysical opposites, one who wanted dominion over the meaning of existence, and one who represented the natural laws that kept existence from collapsing into primitive appetite. Trigon was the first to break the silence, his voice steeped in ancient cruelty. "This plane is empty. Why summon me here, star consumer? Why call me away from the worlds begging to kneel before me?" Galactus didn't move, but his voice struck like a verdict delivered across eternity. "I did not summon you. Reality did. It is correcting an imbalance that you have spread too far." Trigon laughed. The sound shook the dimension like a quake. "Balance? You speak of balance while you embody the gluttony of universes. Do not preach to a god of dominion about balance." Galactus finally turned his gaze toward him. "You misunderstand what I am. You see hunger, but you do not grasp its purpose. I consume to preserve cycles. I consume so reality continues. Your dominance does nothing but drag sentient existence toward entropy." Trigon's eyes flared with red flame. "Existence does not require cycles. It requires a ruler strong enough to impose direction. Without authority, creation rots into chaos." Galactus replied with calm that felt heavier than Trigon's rage. "You wish to replace chaos with tyranny. That is simply chaos wearing a crown." Trigon stepped closer, each movement causing the dimensional walls to twist. "Your philosophy is weakness dressed as responsibility. You cling to purpose because you fear what you truly are, a devourer bred from destruction. A being that must justify himself to sleep at night." Galactus's aura brightened, reality around them stabilized. "I sleep when the universe allows it. You, however, cannot rest until your corruption reaches every thought, every soul, every world. You claim power, but power that depends on domination is the most fragile kind." Trigon snarled. "Fragile? I command realms beyond your comprehension. Mortal fears sustain me, souls strengthen me. I hold legions. I have wiped universes clean, and you, cosmic giant, dare call my power fragile?" Galactus answered without raising his voice. "Yes, because power that requires chains is only power borrowed from the weak. True power reshapes the very rules of existence without needing to enslave it." Trigon's flames reached the edges of Galactus's aura, burning, clawing, trying to warp it. They fizzled into nothing. Trigon's 6 eyes narrowed. "You think yourself above gods? You think your cosmic inheritance makes you a judge of higher realms?" Galactus stared directly into all 6 eyes. "I am not above gods. I am older than the title." The moment hung in the void like a guillotine waiting to drop. Their philosophical conflict sharpened into inevitability. Trigon believed sovereignty gave meaning to existence, that all things must kneel or be consumed by his will. Galactus believed existence had its own rhythm, and that no single entity had the right to warp it into a dictatorship of suffering. Their ideologies could not coexist. One demanded the multiverse submit to a tyrant. The other demanded that the multiverse remain free to breathe. One wanted to dominate reality. The other was reality enforcing its natural equilibrium. Trigon leaned forward, flames sharpening. "If you believe your purpose outweighs my dominion, then prove it." Galactus's answer was simple. "I already have. You simply have not accepted it yet." The dimension screamed as both forces prepared to unleash everything they were. Their philosophies had reached an impasse. Only the clash would determine whose truth reality would allow to stand, and reality had already begun to lean toward one. Trigon lunged first because that was his nature. His power surged outward in a crimson torrent that shredded dimensions and devoured the remnants. His hellfire wasn't just flame, it was spiritual corruption that rewrote the essence of anything it touched. He aimed to burn Galactus from concept to corpse, but the inferno struck the aura surrounding the One Galactus and dispersed like steam hitting a sun. Galactus didn't counterattack, he simply advanced. Every step crushed Trigon's fire beneath cosmic inevitability. Trigon roared and unleashed a blast that tore apart the dimensional plane entirely. The void around them fell into non-existence, leaving true nothingness. In that nothingness, Trigon expected his will to reign supreme. He was born of chaos, emptiness empowered him, yet Galactus's presence reconstituted the nothingness into structure as he passed through it. Laws of physics reassembled. Space-time knitted itself back together. Trigon's advantage evaporated. The demon god struck again, expanding into a towering monstrosity, wreathed in the power of every soul he had consumed. He hammered Galactus with fists wrapped in raw multiversal malice. Each blow shattered timelines, cracked eternity, and sent shockwaves into infinite adjacent universes. Galactus absorbed them all. Not resisted, absorbed. His armor pulsed with the energy, converting it into stable cosmic order. Trigon felt something he hadn't felt in eons, his power feeding the strength of another. Galactus finally raised his hand and pressed 2 fingers against Trigon's forehead. The contact didn't burn, but it erased. Trigon staggered as his demonic aura peeled away from him, stripped by fundamental cosmic harmony. His corruption couldn't find purchase. Trigon attacked with raw psychic domination next, splitting into countless avatars, each carrying the full weight of his malice. They struck at Galactus's mind, attempting to corrupt, warp and possess. It was like trying to drown the ocean by throwing water at it. Galactus's thoughts were structures the size of galaxies. Trigon's psychic corruption died on impact. Desperation crept into Trigon's voice. You claim balance, yet you erase my nature. That is domination. Galactus answered while increasing the pressure of his aura, compressing Trigon back into a single form. You seek to overwrite all existence with yourself. I only return it to what it was before your infection. Trigon summoned his ultimate form, the true demonic emperor, 6-eyed, 6-winged, towering beyond planets. His flames turned black, his power spiked, his rage gave him temporary ascension beyond his normal limits. He collided with Galactus in a blast that turned the entire battleground white. When the light faded, Trigon was on one knee. Galactus had not moved. The demon god let out a guttural scream and forced himself up, channeling the full, raw, unrestrained essence of his empire. Billions of tormented souls screaming as fuel for his final attack. He transformed into a spear of pure, malevolent existence, the ultimate expression of his ideology, domination enforced through absolute consumption. He hurled himself at Galactus. Galactus held out his hand and caught the spear. The moment contact was made, Trigon's essence cracked, not metaphorically, literally. The cosmic laws Galactus embodied rejected Trigon's ideology at a structural level. Trigon's power had no compatibility with a reality that didn't consent to his tyranny. His corruption wasn't being resisted anymore. It was being nullified. Galactus's voice echoed like a cosmic sentence. Your power depends on the suffering of the weak. Mine depends on the stability of existence itself. You cannot overpower that which does not require permission to be. Trigon shattered like a plane of glass under cosmic pressure. His form broke apart, his essence buckled, and the multiversal parasite that fueled him dissolved into the correcting force of the One Galactus. Trigon screamed one last time as his form imploded, leaving only embers of his former might. Galactus closed his hand, extinguishing the last fragment. The void stabilized, reality resumed, the imbalance was corrected, the One Galactus stood alone. The battle was not won by strength alone, it was won because Trigon's philosophy required all things to kneel, while Galactus's nature required only the universe to continue. One needed obedience, the other needed nothing. The cosmos, unsurprisingly, sided with the one it actually needed. Galactus turned, and the dimension obeyed.